Weezer and I have an interesting history. So, flashback, it was the year 2007, and believe it or not, I didn't hear that many Weezer songs on the radio. They weren't on most of the time, and some of the ones I didn't hear at all. So, the three, well, technically four songs that I heard on the radio during that year, like prior to, up to, that were Beverly Hills, which was my favorite at the time, Hash Pipe, which was a little rare to hear, but you heard it every once in a while. Even rarer than that was actually Say It Ain't So. Now you hear it all the time, but back then, yeah, it's kind of losing traction a bit. And then there was the follow-up to Beverly Hills, We Are All on Drugs, which pretty much got banned almost instantly because, well, it was called We Are All on Drugs. So, yeah, of course it got banned. You didn't hear it after a year or so, but that was then. Now you can search it out wherever, whenever. But those four songs were all I knew. Island in the Sun, well, it's a big cult hit, but you didn't hear it. At least, I didn't hear it when I was around the radio. But, yeah, how I discovered that song is a story for another time. But, I didn't listen to the first album, like, right away. But here's the thing. I didn't even know we had it. Because it was hidden in my sister's room somewhere. Because she had all sorts of CDs lying around. Some of them were actually pretty mainstream and famous. Others, very rare and kind of local, actually. Unfortunately, those would probably be lost to time. Because I have some of the cases for them. The CDs, not so much. She was never a great organizer, unlike me. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to talk about is that she introduced me to Weezer in CD form. Now, here's the thing. The only reason I got into this band was simply because at the time, my favorite color was blue. Yes, that's the real reason. I remember in 2007, I was only 10, and she was moving away. So she didn't want to take everything with her. What'd she do? She laid out all her CDs on the table and asked me if I wanted to take a few. But like, only a few, like 2 or 3 or something. One of them was a band I was really into at the time, All American Rejects. That's how I got Move Along. It's one of my favorite albums to this day. The other one, well, it didn't have the picture. It didn't have the insert. It was lost at the time. So all I saw was this. Just this blue CD in a case. And I was like, wait, Weezer, that name sounds familiar. Oh yeah, the Beverly Hills guys, okay. And like I said, it was blue, so immediately I gravitated toward it, went crazy about it. You will never guess how this got reunited with this. It was in a dresser drawer, just stuck to a pile of gunk at the bottom of the drawer. I don't know, but we had to rip it off. That's why you see the little creased little tape there. We had to tape it up, but yeah. And after we found it, well, why bother finding it? There's no frigging lyrics. So why bother? But, the image is iconic, so what the hell. So, yeah. So I listened to it almost immediately, and I was blown away. Every song is so frigging catchy. I mean, My Name is Jonas, classic. Lyrics made no sense to me at first. There's a couple of phrases that are really cool, but other than that, meh. And by the way, who's Jonas? Is this a character song from the 70s? Come on. None of them is named Jonas. I know that much. No one else? Cool. The World Has Turned and Left Me Here. That one got my attention. And to this day, it is one of the best songs I've ever heard from them. I wish I go back to stuff like this. Buddy Holly, I actually heard it so much, I'm getting sick of it at this point. But there's one thing that I will never get sick of. That one little guitar lick at the end of the bridge. I mean, I was not into electric guitar at the time. I mean, I knew what it was. I knew it enhanced the songs. I knew they made them sound cool. But the minute my eyes got open to what an electric guitar could do was that little... I was like, holy crap, that is amazing. And I never looked back. Undone the Sweater Song, pretty much a cult classic, in our house especially. But I was really scared, like, really scared. Because at the end, there's just these weird, spooky sounds. I was like, okay, how do they do that? And yeah, I don't recommend a little kid listen to this, like, at night when he's trying to fall asleep. No. Surf Wax America, one of the catchiest choruses on the entire album. And actually a pretty cool story. I mean, it's just a surfer taunting this 9-to-5 workaday dude because, well, I guess he doesn't have to work. You take your car to work, I'll take my board. And when you're out of fuel, I'll still afloat. It's classic. Say It Ain't So, of course, the hit. And there's not much to say about it, really. I mean, you already know the story behind it. His stepfather was a drunk, and he was just afraid all the time. But other than that, and a couple of interesting guitar phrases, this song is overplayed so much, I'm actually sick of it. I swear, play something different. And then we get to my favorite song on the entire album, In the Garage. If ever there was a band that was classified as nerd rock, this would be it. This, Weezer in general, really. But In the Garage is where it all started, because a lot of nerd culture is represented in the song's lyrics. I mean, he does worship Kiss, other good rock stars. But then, in like pretty much the same line, he goes out of his way to mention Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. This is like the only rock song I know with a D&D reference. I was like, okay, I have no idea what this is. Because, like I said, first time I listened to this, I was 10. I didn't know what the heck it was. But in hindsight, yeah, that's pretty funny. It's pretty cool. Holiday, not to be confused with Green Day's Holiday, I learned right off. Kind of boring when I first heard it, but, it's kind of grown on me. And Only in Dreams, the closer. Dear God, that bass line makes the song. And when I first learned bass, I made sure that was one of the first bass lines I ever learned. Like, even before Another One Bites the Dust, because, come on. The song wouldn't be complete without it's what makes the entire song. Well, that's the album. And for like a year and a half, this was my only source of, Weezer fever at the point. Because, like I said, besides this album and the 4 songs I mentioned previously, there was nothing else. I didn't get my Weezer fill for anything new from them until Pork and Beans came out. And, yeah, that was the catchiest song they've ever done up to that point. And then Troublemaker, which was okay, but didn't last as long. The lead single is always the best, and always lasts the longest on radio. Go figure. And then there was nothing else memorable from the album. The next year came, and they sold out with a generic pop song. They just haven't been the same since. But, yeah, it was a trip actually getting into this right before the Red album. It completely different vibes, but still really good. Well, that's all I really wanted to say. Just interesting tidbit, little history about me and how I came into this band in the first place. And if you listen to my top 100 songs of the century video, I mean, if you can, if you're not in this country, apparently, then you know that 2 songs actually made it onto that list. One is Beverly Hills, which is pretty much my childhood. And one was a recent song I checked out that just got back into the swing of things after, them covering 80s crap. No one needs that. But people do need records. I love that song. Okay. Well, this was just a quickie for me. I have other videos planned, more music stuff. So that's coming soon. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye.